Hello boys and girls, Lord Hawkeye here again. I decided just to mix things up to try a little something new, so if I get enough positive feedback I'll make sure to do more of it. What this will be is a little thing I call fail quotes. Yep, that's right. I'm going to showcase some of the most interesting, to put it nicely, quotes that I've heard throughout the years, be it on message boards or what have you, and make some witty commentary and then hopefully get a few laughs out of you. So if you like it, tell me so and I'll make sure to do more. If you don't like it, tell me so and I'll hang my head in shame and go do something else, I guess. Anyway, with that in mind, let's get to the first one, shall we? Our first little entry is this classic case of academic doublethink by our good friend Thunderfoot. It reads, "The benefits of social interaction can only be purchased with the limitations of the individual." Let's think about this for a second. He's basically saying what he's proposing is both beneficial and comes at your expense at the exact same time. Brilliant. For the most part, I'd like to note, for the most part, that I'm not going to be including names just to protect the stupid, but in this case, this one's so widely known, I think I can feel safe in letting it haunt Thunderfoot to the end of his days. Anyway, let's move on then, shall we? Oh, and speaking of academic doublethink, here's a little snippet from a rant that some pseudo-intellectual gas bag tried to lecture me with one time. The whole thing was pretty painful to read, but this was probably my favorite part. "Newsflash, that doesn't happen in a democracy," referring to loss of freedom and invasive policies and stuff like that. "And if they do something like that, we'll just vote the bums out." If I had a nickel for every time someone's tried to use this argument on me, and I always have the exact same question for them. So, how's that working out for you so far? Just vote them out. Yeah, once every 4 years. And only from a selection of choices that they put forward for you. And only in a time and manner of their choosing. Oh, yes, and one other thing they forgot. If a politician comes in, puts in a stupid policy that invades your privacy and you vote the bum out, even if you do, guess what? The policy still stays, and you don't even get a vote on that. I'm sure that's just an oversight or something like that, right? Unbelievable. Alright, here's a quick little one. There was more to the conversation than this, but basically, when I said that politicians routinely print more money to pay off their corporate buddies at the expense of everyone else, which basically allows them to steal money from the populace without them knowing it, this guy just plain outright denied that any such thing ever happens. Yeah, governments don't print more money. What the heck was I thinking? Oh, but wait, it gets even better. Well, I continued talking with this individual, and he told me that money is backed by the people, not by politicians. So I asked him, well, if that's the case, then how come competing currencies aren't allowed? In fact, the government arrests you if you try to make your own currency. If you try to trade with gold or anything like that, off to jail you go. And he comes back with this little gem, that would be bad, we can't allow that. So not only does he contradict his original statement, has this guy never heard of exchange rates? I mean, come on, this is not rocket science. I would like to state for the record right now, I am not making these up. I swear, I am not this creative. Not in a million years. Well, this one here speaks for itself. My favorite part is that he would then go on to say that admit that it's not perfect. So, it works as an undeniable fact, but it's not perfect. Yeah, sure. And as I've tried to tell people a million times, my idea is so great that I need to force people at gunpoint to go along with it is not a very good talking point. I mean, as an empiricist, I judge people by their actions, not by their words. If you say an idea is great, but the only reason you go along with it is because you're forced, what am I to conclude from this? Think about it. Well, at least that's what the socialist brochures say. But how often has this really worked out? And yet every case where socialism's been tried, it led to totalitarianism. I'm sorry, boys and girls, but empiricism will always trump theory. That's just how it is. Well, this one can pretty much speak for itself. Just for the record, I asked this person to cite me some other organization that licenses doctors in order to prove his claim that the AMA is not a monopoly. I have yet to hear back from him. I wonder why. Oh boy, I got a real doozy on this one. I asked a healthcare supporter that if we need to, when he argued that we need to socialize healthcare because it's an essential service, I brought up this point. I said, well, food is arguably more essential than healthcare. I mean, you could live without medicine, not recommended, but it is possible. But food, absolutely, you cannot live without it. There's no two ways about that. So, couldn't this argument be made stronger for food? How come nobody calls for the socialism as food? And I got this little gem that went like this. It isn't immoral to charge for food because the human body can run on almost anything. That means I could go outside right now and live off the plants and animals living there. People can live in the desert. That's what we humans do. We survive, we persevere, we overcome. When people buy food or water, they are paying for the convenience of another human finding it and preparing it. We pay extra for exotic foods that are rare to our lands. So, those 20 million, I can't remember what the number was, all those people who die of starvation every year, they just weren't trying hard enough. Food's easy to come by. It's not a problem whatsoever. You know, I mean, I have seen some really dumb quotes, but the level of just stone-cold disregard here is just astounding. Unbelievable. And here's another little one from our good old friend, the same guy who made the vote the bums out quote earlier. When I talked about how that statism is completely unsustainable, there's no way that debt could ever be paid off, he came up with this one. It's a testament to how little you understand macroeconomics and, well, mathematics, that you can believe any part of this. Numbers do lie, all the time, because they're badly sourced and debt can continue to grow so long as potential value grows at the same pace, which it probably does. In long-term trends, little stock market crashes and depressions happen all the time, but on the whole, the world economy just keeps getting more and more, and debt continues to increase alongside it. That's how a capitalist market creates momentum and profitable ventures. Yeah, it doesn't know what capitalism is, go figure. Debt will always increase. It's actually a sign of a healthy economy. Of course, there are bits of debt that are rather bad, but on the whole, saying the economy is terrible because it's in debt shows an utter lack of knowledge about how capitalism works on a grand scale. In other words, the laws of economics magically change as soon as there's politics involved. Typical. This is what I love about Keynesian economists. They will go on and on about how right they are, but I don't think I've ever seen one actually put his own money on these theories. I mean, could you imagine somebody going to a group of investors with a business plan like this and expect to be taken seriously? He'd be laughed out of the room. Just absolutely ridiculous how someone can sound so smart and still be so stupid. Well, and last and certainly not least, this is my favorite snippet from a long, multi-page, logical and emotional train wreck of a response to me after I dared badmouth and socialize healthcare. When I asked her the question of if socialized healthcare is so great, why does the government have to give itself a monopoly on it? And she answers with this. Your stance is no more rational than that of a fluffy socialist. If that's not pot calling the kettle black, I don't know what is. Maybe the government having a monopoly on healthcare provides the largest number of people with the best available healthcare. Yes, the usual. Monopolies are usually bad, but when government does it, they magically become good. You must assume the government has a nasty ulterior motive regardless of facts. Well, they do have an ulterior motive if you read history, but not going to let that get in our way, shall we? If this doesn't alarm you enough, apparently this person, I learned, is actually a healthcare provider, and even more alarming, a healthcare provider in my own home province of British Columbia. Yes, that's right. This kind of mental health case is what our precious system considers qualified to take care of people's health. I am now and eternally terrified to ever go to the hospital. Thanks a lot. Right, and there you have it. There's just a small sampling of what I've had to listen to over the years and preserve my sanity through. So, if you enjoyed this, please tell me so, and I'll see about making more. If you have any fail quotes you'd like to contribute, please PM them to me, and I'll make sure to include them. And yes, I will give credit where due. Until next time, be aware and be wise.